Imagine for a moment that what you desire most, whatever it may be, is already yours. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Fully experienced, fully felt. How would you walk? How would you breathe? What would change inside you? That, right there, is the essence of Neville Goddard's revolutionary principle. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It's not about hoping. It's not about pleading. It's about stepping into the state where the desire is already a fact, already fulfilled, and allowing your entire being to reflect that inner knowing. This is not fantasy. It's creative power. And in this video, we're diving deep into this foundational truth. Not as a concept to admire, but as a way of living that can shift your reality from the inside out. Neville didn't teach people to chase their dreams. He taught them to embody them, to live as if what they want is already theirs. Because to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to move beyond desire and into identification. It's no longer something you want, it's who you are. You begin to carry the inner tone of the fulfilled desire, and like a tuning fork, reality begins to vibrate to match your new internal frequency. Neville called this living in the end. That means instead of imagining the process of getting what you want, you imagine from the point where it's already done. If you desire love, you don't visualize searching for the right person. You feel what it's like to be cherished, partnered, chosen. If you desire wealth, you don't dwell in lack hoping for abundance. You feel the security, the freedom, the calm that comes from knowing you already have enough. And here's the secret most people miss. The world doesn't change first. You do. The outer reflects the inner. It always has, always will. So if your current circumstances don't reflect your desires, that's not failure, it's feedback. A mirror showing you the dominant assumptions you carry, consciously or unconsciously. And the solution? Don't react to the mirror. Don't beg the image to change. Instead, shift your inner state. Assume the identity of the one who already has what you're reaching for, and sustain that identity long enough for the world to conform. This is where many people give up. They try to assume the feeling, but when nothing changes in a few days, they say it's not working. But manifestation isn't about instant gratification, it's about faith, a deep felt conviction that your assumption is truth, even if the world hasn't caught up yet. Neville made a distinction between mere visualization and true assumption. Visualization is just seeing something in your mind, but assumption is living from it. It's walking through the world with the inner knowing that it's already yours. Think about it like this. If you knew with absolute certainty that a package was being delivered tomorrow, you wouldn't worry. You wouldn't question. You'd go about your day in peace, confident in the outcome. That's the state you're aiming for. Inner security, not anxious hoping. And the key is feeling, not emotion, not intensity, but the natural feeling tone that corresponds with your desire. How would you feel if you were already the person you want to become? That's what you practice. That's what you dwell in. Neville said, feeling is the secret because it's the language the subconscious understands. The subconscious doesn't respond to words, it responds to states. And every state has its own feeling. You know what lack feels like, you know what anxiety feels like, but do you know what fulfillment feels like? Peace, wholeness, start there. Start by becoming familiar with the emotional climate of your desire already fulfilled. Play with it, sink into it, wear it like a new outfit until it becomes second nature. And don't do this just in meditation. Carry it into your day. Let it influence how you speak, how you move, how you show up in the world. This is not about pretending, it's about alignment. If you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled consistently, the world around you has no choice but to reflect it. That's not wishful thinking. That's spiritual law. Let's ground this in an example. Say you desire a new job. Instead of constantly worrying about interviews, applying everywhere, and feeling desperate, you close your eyes and imagine it's already yours. You feel the relief, the pride, the sense of purpose. You imagine telling someone close to you, I got the offer. You hear their congratulations, you feel the weight lift, you allow that feeling to saturate your body to become real. Then you return to your life, but now you move differently. You carry a quiet confidence. You speak from stability, not scarcity. That shift in energy, that inner re-identification begins to move unseen forces in your favor. People respond differently. Ideas flow, doors open, not because you forced it, but because you became it. Another example, you long for love. Instead of focusing on the lack of it, you dwell in the feeling of being deeply loved. You walk through your day as someone who knows they are worthy, cherished, chosen. You talk to yourself kindly. You feel a sense of companionship in your own presence. And the mirror of life, always faithful, begins to reflect that new self-image in the form of new people, new opportunities, and new dynamics. But again, it doesn't start with action. It starts with assumption. Now, here's something crucial. Assuming the wish fulfilled doesn't mean ignoring reality. You don't pretend your bills don't exist, or that your heartbreak never happened. You're not denying the facts. You're denying their finality. You're choosing to live from a higher truth. That your current state is not your final destination. That consciousness, not circumstance, is the real creator. Neville put it simply, dare to assume you are what you want to be, and you shall become it. But daring to assume takes courage, because it means letting go of the old identity. It means refusing to be defined by the past. It means no longer telling the story of limitation. And it means accepting full responsibility for your inner world. You can no longer say, this is just how things are. You begin to say, this is how I choose them to be. That shift, from victim to creator, is the essence of Neville's work. Now let's talk about the subconscious mind. Your assumptions live there. It's like the soil that grows the seeds of your imagination. But to impress the subconscious, you must feel your assumption to be real. Not in the distant future, not someday, but now. This is why Neville emphasized drowsy states, the moments right before sleep, because in that relaxed state, the conscious mind is quiet and the subconscious is open. That's your window. In that space, assume the feeling, live in the scene, hear what would be said, feel what would be felt, and do it with conviction, not force, not desperation, but gentle knowing. Then drift off to sleep in that state. Over time, that inner state becomes your new default and your world reshapes to reflect it. But this isn't just about techniques. It's about a new relationship with yourself. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you stop being someone who wants and become someone who is. And from that state, the world shifts. People treat you differently. Ideas flow, serendipities multiply, not because you're manipulating life, but because you're finally aligned with who you truly are, the operant power. So ask yourself, what would change if you assumed right now that what you want is already yours? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would you no longer entertain? What habits would fall away? What gratitude would rise in your heart? That's the state to live from. That's the doorway to transformation. Remember, you are not here to wish. You are here to assume, to step into the version of yourself that no longer waits for permission to believe. The version that doesn't need outer proof to feel inner truth. And the world, always obedient, will mirror that back to you. So the next time you desire something, don't long for it, don't chase it. Instead, pause, breathe, and ask, how would I feel if this were already true? Then feel it, and stay there. That feeling is your signal. That state is your power. And that assumption, Nichio, is the beginning of its fulfillment.